1. Wind. If only, most lovely of all, I yield myself and am borrowed by the fine, fine wind that takes its course through the chaos of the world. It was ever a windy place. Something about the exposure of that high hill. It could be cold on the warmest of summer days. So many small sweetnesses no longer sheltered there. No candlelight, nor the holy dove. But such clarity the place had, such views in every direction. It would have been the place to lift prayer flags, for surely that Cashel wind could reach blessings to every corner of the land. 2. Charm Bracelet. Hiberno meant the land of eternal winter. And me being me, I go all over the rock, looking for signs of nature. Clergy and kings not having half the potency of meadow flowers. I'm curious about the plants they used for ale, how honey became mead, how rosemary and sage made metheglins that Pepys said could stupefy and keep a humming in the brain. I want to know which strewing herbs they tossed on floors, pennyroyal against ticks, hyssop, fleabane, rue for the churches, mint and chamomile to sweeten air. The higher you build, the closer you come to heaven, the guide said. But I bent low to the ferns in the walls, searching the cracks of history for any clue. Wattle marks in the plaster, a sandstone bull with wings, an eagle feathered with granite diamonds like the scales of a fish. It was like following a trail of crumbs, nature banished to mere decoration, ornament on the furniture in the museum, wooden acorns, an oaken swathe of foliage, an 8-petaled rose. But I kept on looking, stringing a catechism, like collecting charms for a bracelet, a frieze of grapes on a limestone vine, a long-stemmed lily whose petals strained towards God, whose sepals spiraled back to the good earth. It is hard to find her intricacies within all the grandeur, but nonetheless she is there, the feminine, lifting her lovely head. 3. The years of my mothering. The rock was ever in the background, steady and dependable as my view of the Cumras, as much a part of Tipperary as the river shore and the Galtee Mountains and the Devil's Bit. Iconic, it carried all the splendour and pomp of male history. Iconic, it meant Ireland, invasion, colonisation, and faith. So mostly I ignored the rock, except when visitors came and you had to show them round, a stiff breeze blowing, and tea afterwards by the fire in the Cashel Palace Hotel. But it was local, see? Local as standing on the side of a GAA pitch with your son playing and the rain lashing down. Local as the blue and gold of the Tipperary flag. Local as the green and white of the Grange Mopler jersey Michael Hogan was shot in on that first bloody Sunday up in Croke Park. The rock was local as the sudden scent of turf smoke in September, local as the Golden Veil, and Golden itself, and Holy Cross, Killinall, Ballinier, feathered, equine country, with all the nobility of the Irish horse. Someone telling me a horse's heart weighs 10 times that of a man's, and it was those hearts we lived among. For it was in the shelter of the rock that I spent the years of my mothering. So if, like the salmon, my children are ever called back to their spawning grounds, this is where they will come. Sometimes I ask myself, what did I give them with my threadbare poet's life? But what they breathed was the clean air of the heather moors of Slievenamon, and what they drank was clear spring water. They grew up in the small lanes of Tipperary, with the skioch and the hawthorn, and when I think of those years, it is always May or June, the white of cow parsley along the ditches, the chestnut trees in bloom. If I gave them anything, it was these neighbours, these friends, these fields like a cloak to their backs. It was the boughs of these trees they climbed in their hand-me-downs. And all the time the rock was there, like the hub of the wheel our lives turned around. So when you came on it suddenly, cresting a hill, there it was, crowning the horizon. And you didn't think of history or high kings. You only knew what belonging meant, how it was to feel yourself at home. Four, stare. I confess what I loved most was the spiral stair to the scriptorium, unembellished stone steps, ascending towards stylus and vellum, awakening within me a deep feeling of recognition, the pathway to work, seclusion, paper and ink, precious as holy wine. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. The stairs were like the touch of a hand to my brow, anointing me scribe, tasked with praise, and the instruction to capture any small glimmer of the immensities, the miraculous nature of creation. 5. Banasri, the High King speaks. I have always thought she looked her loveliest from here. Here more than anywhere, she gave herself to me, this rock our bridal bed. When I married her, she gave me her intricacies, apple blossom, bird song, the salmon's rainbow breast, the white swans and the white geese. The word fesh meant to sleep with the goddess, to be permeated by her. When I married her, I became the mountains, I became the forest. Her soft rain fell, and I grew as grain. When I married her, she turned me copper, gave me the strength of iron. She crowned me with the gold crest's burnished head. In her embrace, I was kingfisher, turquoise, emerald, amber. She released me as falcon on the wing. The veins in my wrists became the rivers of the land. When anything happens to her, it happens to me. It is my relationship with the land which grants me sovereignty, this rock, our bridal bed. For her, it was strewn with the creamy white petals of elderflower, of meadowsweet. She never left our bedchamber without an offering for my palm, acorn, seashell, chrysalis, amethyst, a hazelnut drilled open by a dormouse. And after her leaving, the room echoed with her, a steady incantation, Tuath, 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 meaning people, meaning place. Thank you.